I always think of singing a lot like acting, and depending on what the subject of the song is, you have to find the right character. So for me, it's just putting myself in that person's shoes and dialing in that emotion.
And Typical is such an emotional song. I have to put myself in the room of, like, there's the couch that he's sleeping on, and here's a wine glass that eventually I'm gonna pick up and throw at him. Because that's what I'm singing about. It's about a huge fight. You kind of have to visualize it, and if we were having this fight, you know, this is how I would feel. So it's emotional.
So there's a line in Typical towards the end of the bridge that says, just breaking up and making up. And
breaking up, making up. So
and
good.
It's very repetitive, but at the same time, it's a very honest, simple emotion that is very compelling, very relatable, I think, to people. I think most people can say, I've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it's our favorite part of the song.
Yeah, it's a fun part of the song to sing.
Slam the front door, leave tire marks on the driveway.
When we first heard Typical, we were a little hesitant to want to record it. Believe it or not, it wasn't our story. It's not how our relationship had ever looked. We'd never really thought like that. I've never actually made you sleep on the couch. So
Yet.
So we went into Mark's office and said, I don't think we can sing this. It's just not us, and we don't think people will believe this from us.
Yeah. Then Mark, in his infinite wisdom, said, it's not about if it's your story, it matters if it's someone else's story.
Mm-hmm.
And the one example he gave, I'll never forget it, was he said, take Reba's song, Fancy. That has nothing to do with what her childhood was in real life, but the fact that she owned that song the way she did, everyone believes that this must be a song about Reba's childhood, how it actually was. So after that, we looked at the song in a whole new light, and it was like a role in a movie that we couldn't turn down, and we could not wait to record it.
Yeah.
It's just so typical. Just so typical.
Recording ad-libs in the studio can feel a little left-footed at times because in a live situation they happen very organically. They're almost like an emotion put to notes. A lot of times they don't even have a lyric to it. So when you're in the studio trying to come up with ad-libs, they don't feel as organic. On Typical, there were some ad-libs we were doing towards the end, and I was trying to do something that I had done live several times, but it wasn't sounding real.
It was robotic.
I remember the more and more takes we did, the less and less natural it felt. So we ended up taking a 15-20 minute break, came back later, did it in one take.
Crushed it.
And that's what's on the recording.